Hello guys, hope you're well. It's been a while. Been sort of meaning to get started with the tutorials again, and this little video here is one of the first videos I uploaded a long time ago. It's got 93,000 views, and it's literally my motion path with a curve extrusion, showing people how to create a curve extrusion of a poly along a curve, but also to have an object like this sphere to follow it. And it's really simple, but these days we can kind of do it a lot quicker and without having to faff around with the old-fashioned way. So this is really an update on this method. So we're just going to crack on and do it. So I don't really know what that is there. Bosh. Right. Let's just get going. So I'm going to create a sphere first of all, and I'm just going to scale this up and just hit 3 on that, and I'm going to make that object live because I'm going to draw a curve along it. So we're just going to go with, you're going to have to excuse all the noise that's going on in my house. Everyone's at home due to the COVID thing, and so things just aren't going to be as nice and quiet as they usually are. Apologies for that, but that's just real world. So I'm just going to draw this curve around this sphere because I want a bit of a dynamic shape. And really quickly, bosh, bosh, bosh. That will do. Take that out of live mode, delete this sphere, and we've got a curve which I might smarten up a bit later on. Let's get rid of the grid, and first of all I'm going to create a cylinder. And I'm going to go into the channel box. I'm just going to add a whole bunch of divisions to the height. That would do nicely. Okay, so I'll create a sphere as well because that's the little guy that I'm going to want to follow the front of this cylinder. Okay, so let's get a cylinder, select the curve. I'm going to go to deform, and we're going to go to, where are you, curve warp. Right, so at the moment nothing's going to happen. We can look in the attribute editor for the curve warp, and we can move the offset up and down and whatnot. Really important, do not delete the history when you've created this setup, or you will lose the curve extrusion warp. So we've got length scale, and we can see that if we drag this number out to, let's say, 20, we get a real mess. Reason being is that we haven't got the alignment correct. So we've got X, Y and Z. Let's just give Y a go. There we go. So now we've got what we want. So I'm just going to do some quick animation on this. I'm going to stick a minus number into this just by clicking in it, holding down control, left click, pull back, because I want my animation to kind of start up here. I'm going to set a key at frame 1. I'm going to go to frame 50. And then I'm going to drag this offset around like that and just go a bit further than the 1, again by clicking in there with your control key, and I'm going to set a key in there. And then we can't set our keys down here, but if you press select in any attribute that's got keyframes on it, they'll show up in your timeline. So there we go, we got that going on. Wash. It looks horrible, so the good thing about this curve warp malarkey is that we can change some shapes using the scale curve here. We can just pull down this here to create a nicer looking profile, and again I'd like the tail to kind of look like that as well, so we'll just pull this one down here as well. So now we've got a nicer looking shape coming in, and we can just hit 3 on this to subdivide it, and it just looks a whole lot better. Not the greatest curve, whatever, but it serves a purpose. So now we've got our animation and it's working as we want it. How do we get this sphere to attach to the front of this? Interesting question. So what you used to have to do is then create a motion path from this sphere onto this curve and then try and match up the keyframes, and it's just not the way to do it these days. So if we just grab the sphere, and I'm just going to hold down V and snap it to the front of this guy. You'd think you could just like parent it or whatever, but you're not parenting it to a transform, so it's not going to work. So we'll just come out of that in a minute. So the thing to do, there's a nifty little thing that we can use now in Maya, is that we can grab the vertice from this object. If I hit 4, we'll just go in here and grab the front of it, yeah, and then we'll just shift select the sphere itself, and we come into constrain, and there's something in here called point on poly. So if we click on point on poly, and then I just come out of this mode and I hit 5, we should have a sphere following the front of our dude, which is perfect. So obviously it's not going to deform because it's not actually part of the curve warp. We could do that, but we don't want it to deform. Really, I'm trying to match that animation I did quite a few years ago of showing you how to get an object to follow. So this can be any object on the front of this, even with its own dynamic system or something like that. We'll then just go and follow this curve, and that is it. That is all for now, guys. It's just a nice simple step back into the world of making YouTube videos. Anyway guys, that is it for now, and I'll speak to you on the next one, which should be soon. Cheers, bye bye.